We had to do a show, Brendan, because we have to celebrate the Celtics one way or another. Amazing. It's been almost a week since the Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions. I want to open our show up with our lovely Celtics logo that we have right there.
There
Isn't
he
that
is.
cool?
There he is. I love it.
Lucky is a happy camper, and so aren't so many other fans here in Boston. And it's great to be able to now have a little sigh of relief. We don't have to worry about anything going on anymore with the Celtics, and rest assured, we have that championship. I didn't have the ability to talk with you when the whole title and everything happened on Monday night, so I want to give some time to chat about it and experience a little bit about what you witnessed when you went to the parade the other day. So give us the lowdown.
Yeah, Nick, definitely. It's great to be back plugged in, back into the sports media. After the Celtics won the championship, I kind of disappeared. It was just really insane. They finally did it. It's like a 5 or 6 year climb that they had tried to get to. Losing to LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals was really when this chapter began. And it's been a lot of heartbreak, very close so many times. And then one thing goes wrong, especially last year. But this year, they got it done. They finished the job. It was team basketball. They changed the game. They've done this before in 2008. They created the Big Three era. They have changed the game now to a team basketball approach where everyone's a shooter, everyone can defend, and everyone passes the ball extremely well. They go 60. They're electric. They're a wagon. Get ready for next year. Buckle up. But I came back from the parade. It was bananas. I mean, I saw people on top of telephone poles, on top of streetlights. This kid was on the "Do Not Enter" sign the whole time. But then there were also kids dancing on top of buildings, Spider-Manning on walls and stuff. It was wild. It was really hot. It was like 95, and we're all jam-packed. I was there like 2 hours early. There at like 9 o'clock. And the parade started at 11, but they didn't get to Park Street, where I was by the Burger King, until 11:35, 11:40.
That's a convenient spot for you to go. Did you get lunch at that place too?
So I found a hidden gem after the parade, the Zen's restaurant, Japanese bar on Beacon Street. Which was perfect because I was at the Red Sox parade in 2018 and I couldn't drink back then. So I figured, the parade's over. I'll go home.
Cheers to you all.
Well, in 2018, I figured, I guess I'll go home. That's the worst thing you can do if you're at the parade. Do not go to the trains because it is cattle. You will be herded like cows trying to get into the factory that is the train because it goes back to Newburyport, back to Boston, back to Rockport, back to Boston. You got to wait for Newburyport the third time around. And maybe you squeak in there. So I found a hidden gem on Beacon Street. It was awesome. But really, what was the highlight was seeing the players. Once they got right up to me, I was 3 rows back. It was incredible. It was all worth it. Before it was eerie, then it was worth it. Once I saw the players, it was terrific. They did it. It's a green bean machine. They won.
What did you notice player-wise? Did you see anyone in particular a little bit more amped than others? Were they about equal? What was that vibe like?
So I got to say Mazzulla was going wild in this parade. Mazzulla, he's not a player, but he was having a ball out there. Honestly, I would go with Tatum. Tatum was going crazy as well with the trophy. He had the Larry O'Brien and kept showing it off to all the fans. And then when Brown came around, we were all chanting MVP, and he was losing his mind. He was having a blast with it. He won it. He earned it. It was terrific.
Just from afar, just from reviewing where we've been at with all these different championships over the year, this is one of the best teams, I think, top to bottom, that we've seen here for a Boston organization putting together a championship with. I mean, we saw obviously 2004, all the Patriots era. The Bruins were more of that team aspect of getting contributions from everybody. But there was just so much team effort in this entire postseason run and regular season, of course, too, to get this team over the hump. They're just so likable. And in the NBA, in this day and age, that oftentimes is not something that you can say much of. Some of these basketball teams are just not likable. They have a lot of selfishness. They have a lot of guys that are all about themselves. And for this team in particular here with the Celtics, that buy-in system, I give Joe Mazzulla, I give Brad Stevens, ownership, all the credit in the world, because they were able to get this team to believe in themselves and believe in getting everybody to contribute. I mean, look at Tatum from overall. He didn't wipe the floor with the statistics on points and everything throughout this series. He was more, again, we call him the facilitator, the guy that was distributing and getting that ball into the right hands of the right people at the right time. And you saw that from everybody on the team. You had total faith with Derek White had the ball in his hands. Al Horford had the ball. Jaylen Brown, of course, when Porzingis was playing. Everybody had that ability to believe in themselves. And I think that was your separator here in this entire playoff run. It was fun, exciting, really not stressful, to tell you the truth, from having to sit there from other, all these Bruins games that we've seen all over the time that take years off of our life, sitting through these brutal games. I never felt that way with the Celtics this postseason. I had more of a comfort and ease knowing that this team could probably get over the hump, and they did. So I'm looking forward to them continuing to celebrate. But of course, we know this isn't all about just one. And we've heard this from ownership. We've heard it from Mazzulla and the players. They are in this for the long haul. And if the Celtics do this right, we may get an opportunity, because I'm not going to say this is a dynasty right now. You can't do that. You have to win multiple. Then you can say that this is a championship title town team. And that means if they do it next year or the year after with the same assembled cast, and they want to keep everybody together. We know Al Horford's not announcing any retirement. We know that Derek White wants to be here if they work out an extension. Jason Tatum, of course, they got to work out his next long-term deal. Mazzulla's going to be here for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the best ownership group in the city at the current moment right now for the Celtics, because they actually have a pulse on their fan base. They know what they're doing, and that's important too. And I hope John Henry, I know he's not, but I hope John Henry and Kraft and the lovely Boston Bruins group of the Jacobs are listening and watching and seeing what the Celtics did, because they need to do with exact same model, exact same method from there too. So,
Nick,
I'm glad you got a chance to go to the parade and everything too. Very cool.
I mean, it was a bold approach by them from day one. They said, we're winning Banner 18. They announced to the world, we are here to win Banner 18. And not a lot of teams are willing to put all that weight on their shoulders. The team had one goal.
They did.
And they were selfless all the way through. And that was the one goal. And they took care of it. They won the banner. They won the championship. And I got to give them props. They are on top of the world right now, and they're ready to run it back. The same core and a choking Eastern Conference. I'm excited to see them dominate this conference again. There are a bunch of frauds here between New York, Philadelphia, Toronto. Don't even get me started.
Miami.
A bunch of frauds. Indiana, they're building something there for sure. But a lot of these teams are old, aging, and they're just going to get worse. So I'm excited for the Celtics to humble them once again, make the finals, and take care of another opponent right then and there for Banner 19.
The last thing that's right, Banner 19. And the other thing that was pretty cool to see from this is Mike Gorman. Obviously, we know the longtime voice of the Celtics going out on top as a champion. And then, of course, Bill Russell has passed away. And that was a big time loss, obviously, for the Celtics and everything that he meant to the city and all. But we also lost. Who else was the 86?
Walton.
I don't know.
Bill
Walton. Thank you. I don't know why that was. I lost my mind on that for a second. But yeah, we lost Bill Walton. Obviously, Tommy Heinsohn and everything too. So this was definitely for them, and well worth every penny to witness and watch this team. And then again, last thing I wanted to mention here too is I hope we've all learned out there in internet land, TV land, streaming land, whatever it is. never, ever, ever listen to the folks from ESPN. At least some of them. Don't believe in that crap. Don't believe in their sorry excuse stories and everything of any kind of predictions or anything like that, because it's all a joke. Listen to the true loyal guys that'll give you every insight in the world that's truthful and on top. And that stood out to me a lot. That it was disgusting what we saw from ESPN and some of the other media affiliates too.
Yeah, straight egregious. You know, the narrative that the Celtics, that the regular season doesn't matter, and they were 37-1 or something against Western Conference competitions, and then they dominate the East. It's not even close. And then they drop 2 games throughout the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and then all of a sudden everyone's picking the Mavericks. It's insane to me. But
that was wild.
It's a great.
We get the last laugh. It's great.
We do.
Great to see it.
It's a mean green machine in Boston.
You know what it is now, Brendan? You know who's in the spotlight now? The Red Sox. Yeah, I didn't think that we'd be saying this right after a championship, but we used to talk about them every day. Sometimes for the good, sometimes and oftentimes for the bad. I think it's time we heat it back up here and start at least understanding a little bit more about who this team is and the direction they're heading. So to give you folks a little bit of a review on where the team has been at in the past, I would say 10 days or so, roughly, the Red Sox are winners of 9 of their last 11 games. They are a season high 6 games over 500 right now. And they have some players that are actually starting to be worth my attention and my watching to see where this team could be heading. I don't want to say that we gave up on them too quick, and I didn't want to say I gave up on them too quick. I was just at the point where I can't still stand our owner in John Henry. That's my biggest gripe that I have, is I can't stand a tone-deaf owner who has no clue in the world where he's heading and what he wants to do with the team. As a billionaire himself, doesn't care. It's just sickening to me. But take that aside, to a team that is certainly right now shutting a lot of people up and proving to a lot of doubters out there that they may actually be half decent. A couple names I want to mention as we talk about this is number 1, Jarren Duran. Everyday Jarren Duran. We're going to talk about him a little bit. I want to talk about Rob Refsnyder. Didn't think I'd be saying this name come June 23rd right now in a season, but he has definitely deserved the attention. I want to talk about Connor Wong. Definitely one of the biggest surprises for me on the season. And we'll go from there. Let's open it up to Mr. All-Star, Jarren Duran right now. I'll leave you with this. I am wowed.
Oh, my God. I mean, this kid is a factory, electric factory. He is hitting the ball incredibly well right now. He has 20 stolen bags this season, and he's a defensive presence out there, not only in center, but also covering up left field when Rafaela is moved to shortstop. Jarren Duran has a real option to make the All-Star game.
Absolutely.
If the votes come in, this kid is hitting like over 300, I believe, right now. He is tearing it up, and he's a total threat once he makes first base. And he's an everyday guy. This is a big thing that not a lot of people are realizing. He's played every game this year. And
so a couple statistics that really stand out for me is 78 games. He's played in every single game so far this season. He's had 323 at bats. He has, as the current moment right now, 7 homers, leads the league in triples with 10. He's got 22 doubles already on the season, Brendan. He has 20 stolen bases, as you said, only caught 3 times. OBP is at 352 with a slugging of 483, and his batting average is at 288. But over the past month and everything, yes, he has been over the 300 plateau and been as consistent can be for a team that desperately needed that startup spark plug to be your number 1 guy in the lineup, to anchor that spot and to be something that the Red Sox have really missed since Mookie Betts. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying Mookie used to be your number one hitter. You can even go back to Jacoby Ellsbury days when he was your number one guy that was up the top of the lineup to get everything started. And you are seeing that consistently here right now.
Look,
breath of fresh air to see.
They're half a game out of the second wild card spot right now, which they were never even close to for the last 3 years. Half a game out of the second wild card spot, 5 games out of the first wild card spot. Jarren Duran is the locomotive that is setting up the offense, building that team to get some runs. I mean, this game, Keller, he gave up some runs later on. Bernardino did not look good in this game, but Jarren Duran and Rob Refsnyder creating the offense, scoring 7 runs. It's hard to give up a 7-run lead in a game of baseball, and that was the insurance that they needed. I got to give props to Jarren Duran.
Yeah, you know how much I hate those opening pitchers. I hate it. I hate it. I think it's a sorry excuse of an effort of anything. But the Red Sox, to their credit, made it work today.
You got 3 hits today. You know, like that's a huge deal, especially when it's Duran who can advance the bases through base running. Not only just a single, but threatening doubles, threatening steals, triples, all of it. Jarren Duran, he's a monster out there, and I got to give him props. He's been a beast.
Rob Refsnyder, another guy that's been a massive surprise ever since he came back from the IL in late April. So here's some numbers with him. He's played in 46 games. He already has 3 homers for a guy that doesn't really hit for power that much. And the biggest thing, the biggest eye-opener to me, and I know it's one of those cop-out things that people say, oh, it's just the batting average and everything. I take stock in batting average. If your batting average is over 3 or anything like that, I'm looking at you and I'm saying you are somebody that is worth the attention and effort to watch and see what happens. Rob Refsnyder's hitting .322.
Yeah,
that's stunning. I know it's not as many games as, of course, Duran and everything like that, or even Rafaela. But I feel like every time Rob Refsnyder is in the lineup for the Red Sox, he's doing something impactful. Whether it's getting some sort of spectacular catch, or doing something heads up, or making some sort of play on the bases, coming through in the clutch, whether it's a hit or he's moving the runner along some sort of way. Rob Refsnyder is a guy that I look at from the Celtics that we just saw as a team guy, a guy that will do anything it takes to become a champion. And that's a guy that's infectious in a good way. And you can see why the Red Sox have wanted to have him be in this lineup and be a part of this team, because he can contribute in a lot of different ways. So I do want to see a little bit more of what Refsnyder can do. But we also are into a little bit of a situation here where the outfield is a little clogged. Yeah. Not a clogged toilet by any means.
No.
We got a lot of bodies out there. Willie Abreu just came back. He started the season out like gangbusters, and then he got hurt. I want to see a little bit more of what he does with getting a little healthy and everything. Tyler O'Neill just came back from getting hurt and everything, and he's actually been starting to produce again. But then you have Masa Yoshida, and Brendan and I were talking about this before the show went on, and I am at the point where I think you swallow your pride here and you say, we tried, but you're done. I would DFA him today if I could, because I like other players in this lineup more than I like Yoshida. I think Yoshida, to me, is in the top 3 worst contracts that the Red Sox have ever given out. Congratulations, Chaim Bloom. You did it.
I like this thing we're doing. It's like a little feedback sandwich to the Red Sox. A little positivity, a little negativity, back to positivity. I mean,
we give a little bit. We give a little. We take a little. You know, give and take.
They earned a feedback sandwich on this one. I mean, I think Yoshida, he's a liability in left field. We saw this last year. He was top 3 worst left fielders in baseball. And then when he's batting, he's hitting for average. He's a dribbling machine down the right field line.
Little roll over to second base. Oh, another little roll over to second base. Oh, strike 3. Oh, my arm. Let me hoist my pants up a little bit more and get my suspenders. That's Yoshida to me.
Not playing every game because he has fatigue issues. And I think you got to swallow your pride. I agree. He is a DFA candidate for, which sucks. You know, like you wanted that contract to work out, but he's really not the guy. He can't be taking at bats from Rob Refsnyder right now, who talk about elevating your game. This guy was a lefty assassin. That's all he was. Left-handed pitcher. All right, here comes Rob Refsnyder. Now he is the DH for the Red Sox, and he is a bomb machine. He got another home run today, and he's hitting over 300, and he's the perfect piece to complement Jarren Duran right now, who's getting on base all the time. I love what I'm seeing now. Refsnyder, not so much Yoshida. Wong has been terrific. Hamilton is turning it around. I hated Hamilton in the beginning.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, I lost my mind, but he's really starting.
Put JJ at shortstop and you have more faith.
Honestly, I couldn't stand Dave Hamilton, but he's really turning around, starting to the fundamentals, and it was like the first month in the big leagues, starting to pick it up. So props, wow, turning it around. And then, yeah, they got to figure things out. You know, they have a clogged outfield right now. They're banking on Roman Anthony coming up within the next couple years, maybe next year. So they got to figure that out with Willier. And then, of course, they got kids coming up. Teal and Wong are going to be filthy together. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm talking about this year. Cassis this month. They got to find a role for him.
A couple weeks away, I think we'll see Tristan Casas back in the lineup, and you're starting to see some of the guys that were hurt and out now reestablish themselves and get them back to the team. But I by no means am saying right now that it's time to truly believe that this is a playoff team. What I am saying here is that the Red Sox, they are the team here in the city right now. There's no more Celtics. The Bruins, they went golfing real early, of course. The Patriots, that doesn't start up till, again, August and everything like that. I want to see a summer with actually having a team that's relevant. That's what I want to see. Relevancy. Make it worth our time and effort to go and at least watch this team. I'm not going to Fenway Park. Nope. I will not. I will not support Henry. I will not support that ownership. But what I can do is at least give some attention to a team that wants to prove that they actually are half decent. So give me that. I'll accept that, and we can talk about it from there. That would be cool to see. We talked about a lot on this show and everything. We got a chance to talk Celtics, of course, and the Red Sox. We didn't mention this in the little description, but there is a little bit of news with the Bruins regarding Linus Ullmark. Will Ullmark actually be back in Boston next year? I don't see it happening. They're working on quite a deal between Ottawa and I believe it's Philly. There's something going on with maybe a couple different teams getting involved there, but there's some rumblings that saying Ullmark's as good as gone, which I think we all know. Swayman is the guy. We understand that. So if you can get something in return for Ullmark that's worth improving this roster, I'm all for it.
I think the biggest goal for them is to get off the money. You know, like that's a big contract for them. They can't carry two goalies. They're going to have to pay Swayman. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but maybe next year.
But I want to pay Swayman. I don't know about you, but I want him. I liked what I see in believing that Swayman is your future. And that is something that you don't want to mess around with.
I'm in. I think they need to make a splash. They need to change the culture. I don't know if this is heinous or whatever. I don't want to take any heat for this one, but McAvoy on the block, I don't hate. If you can get something really good for Charlie McAvoy, I'm looking forward to see if there's something.
I am open for a lot of different things. And McAvoy is not, what do we call them? Savers or keepers?
Yeah.
I would not save McAvoy. If there's somebody out there that's that desperate that wants to take, sorry, Charlie, Mr. Overrated.
I mean,
my guest.
He's
if it improves your team, I may take some heat on that because there's moments where he's great. But this postseason in general, I saw one shining game from him. That's it. Everything else, I was severely disappointed. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know. He may be out of shape. I don't know if you've seen him. It doesn't look like he's in that great of a hockey conditioning-wise. Maybe that's something that they got to work on. I really don't look at anybody on this team outside of Swayman and truly Carlo. I liked what I saw from Carlo in the postseason.
Yeah.
I'd even entertain David Pastrnak. Don't kill me. Don't.
They
would.
They need changes.
They have been nothing but choke artists. You saw exactly what happened with the Celtics this year. You got rid of Marcus Flop Smart.
Yep.
You drove him to the airport and you said good riddance. You got rid of your Kemba Walkers. You got rid of your Kyrie Irvings. You got rid of all that garbage. And you brought winners here. I need winners interjected into this Boston Bruins team to believe. Because guess what, Bruins? It's your turn now. Your organization has the longest drought. So step up to the plate and get it done. I will not surrender for anything less this upcoming season than a long run in the postseason. I'm not going to say Stanley Cup because that's ridiculous. I'm not going to be that over the top. But you better damn well get out of the second round. You better.
I mean, they're like,
or I will be coming knocking at your door looking for some accountability.
They're exactly like the Blue Jays. You know, they have these names that were homegrown. We love them, but they're not getting it done in the postseason. Yep. And try to bail them out, and they couldn't find a goal for their life. So, I think there's big change.
We shall see.
I don't think they will, but we'll see.
I don't either. Not on Don Sweeney's watch, but we'll have to see. Or Cam Neely's. Oh, did I mention those two out loud by name? I'm sorry.
Good.
The last thing I want to mention, and this is unrelated to any of our sports stuff, but I do want to thank the amazing folks from Fox 25 on Friday for coming down to our town of Reading and showcasing just how special and great our community is. I got a chance to talk with Sherry Spear and Gene Levanchi, talk a little bit about Empower. I made, of course, a mention of our Sports Zone program as well. And it was very well done. And I want to just thank all the Fox 25 crew for everything that they did to put that day together. Was I very tired at the end of the day? And more other people, of course they were. But there are some circumstances that you relish the opportunity with. And it was an unforgettable day, as I will put it like that. And thank everybody out there for all your support from just feedback and reaching out and everything. It was a thrill to talk a little bit about my journey with Empower and Sports Zone and everything, and share our community with all of New England and Massachusetts. So thanks again for making that all possible.
Yes. Congratulations, Nick, on the zip trip. That's awesome. I've been watching that since I was a kid, so that's really cool to see.
You know how I roll, Brendan. It's never about me, and I say that in true honesty and experience from everything that we've done. It's all about our team, you included with everything here. That's what makes this whole thing possible. Is we have people that believe and want to do things that are impactful for others, and without that recipe and without that leadership and without that true desire of doing something important with your life, we wouldn't be anywhere where we are right now. So thank you all for making that a very special day for us all.
Yeah, definitely.
We will see you again soon. We're going to be talking Red Sox. Let's see if they can keep this going. They have the Blue Jays upcoming this week. We'll be talking about that this week and anything else that arises. Brendan, thanks for joining. Hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. We will see you soon.